Rationing. Rationing during World War II was a system of controlling and distributing scarce goods, resources and food supplies to ensure fair and equitable distribution, conserve essential commodities and support the war effort. Rationing was implemented by governments on both the Allied and Axis sides to manage the impact of the war on civilian populations, maintain social stability and prioritise resources for military use. The outbreak of World War II led to disruptions in global trade, shortages of essential goods and increased demand for military supplies. Rationing was introduced as a response to these challenges to regulate consumption, prevent hoarding and prevent price gouging. Rationing aimed to ensure that the critical resources such as food, fuel, clothing and consumer goods were distributed fairly and efficiently, especially in times of scarcity and economic hardship. By managing consumption through rationing, governments could control inflation, reduce waste and support the war effort. Rationing systems varied by country and were administered by government agencies responsible for setting quotas, issuing ration books and enforcing regulations. Each individual household was allocated a certain amount of ration goods based on their needs, family size and occupation. Ration books contain coupons or stamps that were used to purchase rationed items at designated stores or distribution points. Consumers had to present their ration books and coupons to receive their allotted portions of goods such as sugar, meat, butter, coffee, fuel and textiles. The rationing of specific goods was based on availability of raw materials, production capacity, shipping constraints and strategic priorities. Items like rubber, metal, nylon were also rationed to support military production and conserve resources for the war effort. Rationing had a significant impact on the daily lives of civilians, changing consumption patterns, meal planning, shopping habits and household budgets. Families had to adjust to limited supplies, substitute ingredients and make do with ration goods. Food rationing in particular affected diets, nutrition and culinary traditions as people had to make do with less meat, sugar, fats and dairy products. Home gardening, food preservation and communal cooking became more common as ways to supplement rations and stretch limited supplies. Clothes rationing led to shortages of textiles, shoes and apparel, promoting people to mend, recycle and share clothing items. Fashion trends and luxury goods were restricted and austerity measures were imposed to conserve fabric and materials for military uniforms and equipment. Despite the challenges and sacrifices imposed by rationing, public support for the system was generally high as people understood the importance of rationing for the war effort. Rationing was seen as a patriotic duty and shared sacrifice in the support of troops in the war, and people found creative solutions around the restrictions. Black markets, smuggling and hoarding were common challenges to rationing enforcement, leading to penalties such as fines and social stigma for those caught violating rationing regulations. Government campaigns, propaganda and community policing efforts helped deter black market activities and maintain public compliance. Rationing continued in many countries even after the end of World War II. As economies recovered, resources were rebuilt and the transition to peacetime production and consumption took place. Gradual easing of rationing restrictions and return of consumer goods marked the end of the wartime austerity period. The experience of rationing during World War II left a lasting impact on societies, shaping attitudes towards consumption, waste, sustainability and government intervention in the economy. Lessons learned from wartime rationing influenced post-war policies on food security, social welfare and resource management.